adapted to this environment, and all have business and yeah, institution, academe, schools, personnel have to turn and change to the digital life. I think uh, all of you, my dear friends from media, also have the same. We have experienced a lot of Zoom meetings, and it's all backed up by uh, IT structure technologies. And during this pandemic, we are very happy to be part of this supporting um, company, being one of the essential industry that continue to support and supply and make our product and technology solution available and accessible to the countrywide, to all the Filipino citizens, no matter where in this country. So again, with our team, we are proud to present to you this 2021 Predator League, soon to be open officially on April 6th. Please stay tuned and support us as always. Thank you and good afternoon again.
To be in previously, but we'll have to wait a little bit longer for that. And of course, Predator being the number one gaming brand in the Philippines, and the Predator League is the brand's commitment to supporting the gaming industry, and particularly in the Asia Pacific region. The first Predator League was actually hosted in Indonesia in 2018 and followed by Thailand in 2019. Now in the 2021, the league is hosted in the Philippines, which is definitely a first for us, something I'm extremely, extremely excited about. And to hype up the Predator fans across the country, they're also giving away exciting deals and promos in the premise of the Predator League 2020/21. Now, and to share with us more details, we're going to welcome as well someone very special, none other than the general manager of Predator Philippines herself, Miss Sue Onglim.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you, Gian. I just want to make sure that you can all hear me now. All good? Okay. So we are finally doing this, no? First of all, I'd also like to thank all our media friends for being with us here today, this afternoon. I agree with Mr. Wong. I also miss seeing all of you, in face-to-face live Presscon events. But of course, we couldn't do that. And nonetheless, we'd like to thank you for joining us. And we can see a good thing that there's a chat function here, and that we can see your comments, no? So hello to everyone. Now, the most awaited APAC Predator League Grand Final is happening on April 6 to 11, and it's joined by 17 regions, no, in Asia Pacific, with 46 teams battling for Dota 2, as you can see here, and the PUBG game titles. So a total of $400,000 prize pool will be given to the winners. And on top of that, we'll also, of course, give the most coveted APAC Predator League Shield. That is currently, I think, with the 2019 champion. And of course, apart from those prizes, we're also going to give away Acer Predator products, to the winners of the league. With that, I'd like to also welcome our Philippine representatives, who are with us today. For Dota 2, we have 3 teams. Of course, I'm sure that these teams will make Philippines proud. We have, of course, our own very own TNC Predator. We have Neon Esports and Reckoning Esports. While for PUBG, we also have 3 teams representing the Philippines. So we have Archangel, we have Trouble Maku, and Gamers Lounge. So I'm sure later you're all excited to see them as well, and get to ask questions for the Q&A portion. Now, what's more exciting is that Predator has prepared something special, no, for the fans and the gaming community, which ultimately to make the Predator products more accessible to all aspiring gamers out there. Gian mentioned that Predator has been the #1 brand of gaming products in the Philippines since 2019. And with that, we really want to give back, no, to all our community. After all, our fans and the community have waited more than a year, no, for this league to happen. So I'm very proud to share that for a short period only, from March 24 to April 18, we are offering up to 40,000 peso off. No, that means discount on Predator products, starting with a range of Predator Helios and Triton laptops, which you can see here. Now there's a list of those SKUs that are participating, as well as Predator Orion desktops, and finally Predator gaming monitors as well. So ako personally, I can attest that this is by far the most generous offer, no, that we have launched for our consumers. No? And on top of these discounts, every Predator laptop comes with a free special edition Predator League gaming chair. So if some of you may be familiar, we've actually given this as a freebie, an outright freebie, since 2020, and it has also been a coveted item, for Predator fans out there. So we are going to extend it, especially for, of course, this period of the Predator tournament. And this is indeed a special and exclusive treat to gamers who have been aspiring to get hold of a Predator product. And of course, there's no better time than now to be able to own one. No? After all, we'll be able to play, stay productive while keeping safe, most importantly, at the comfort of our homes. So just a final reminder, this promo is available to all authorized Acer and Predator resellers and concept stores nationwide, as well as in the Acer e-store, for those who prefer buying online. So with that, we are very excited once again with the tournament. Thank you once again for joining us, and have a good day, everyone. Stay safe.
Exciting deals all around. I have definitely been saving up for that Helios. Low-key kind of tempted to buy one, but enough about that for now. Let's move on a little bit further, and we do have some more things coming your way. We do have the teams coming up very, very shortly. But before we get to that, I'm just going to say I'm absolutely pumped that everybody is here. And I want to mention, of course, did you know that the VIP tickets were sold out in minutes for the supposed on-site MOA arena last year? Yeah, it was going to be one hell of a LAN event, but unfortunately with the situation of the world, we had to make some changes, but here we are now, and it's a token of appreciation to all the VIP supporters. We will be providing loot boxes on top of ticket refunds. So we'll be telling people exactly how to do that in just a little bit. We'll be giving more details on the refund process soon. It'll be posted on the Predator social media pages. So if any of you were the VIP ticket holders, not only do we have ticket refunds for you guys as well, but we do have loot boxes to be giving away for supporting us this much, for being really great patrons of not just esports, but also for Predator. So again, big thank you to you guys. But let's not delay any further. Let's get to know the campaign for Filipino teams who will compete in this year's tournament. I know I'm very familiar with these teams, some of the biggest names in local Philippine esports, and I'm so honored to have them here with us today. Okay, and I'm going to start introducing them like right away. For Dota 2, we have to start with them. The first team that we're going to introduce is the stuff of legends. One of the, honestly, probably the best teams that has ever come out of the Philippines, historically speaking, not just in Dota 2, but with any title for esports ever. So a very, very, I'm very, very excited to be hearing from them. They have several championships under their belt, such as the major champion of the MDL Chengdu Major, the 2019 ESL 1 Hamburg Championship, and they also have the 2-time WestG World Championship as well. And we're going to be speaking to someone very special, none other than the team manager of TNC Predator. We have Mr. RJ Domdom. Are you over here?
Hi, Gian.
Hey, welcome to the stream. So he's going to be the first guest. So excited to have you here. And I can see people are training in the background. I hope you're feeling all right.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. So again, thank you. Welcome. And again, so excited. Big fan of you guys ever since the start of your team. But I do have to introduce some of the other teams now. Let's move on to the second team that we're going to be introducing. Also another Dota 2 team. Of course, we are quite familiar with them as well, making marks and making their name in the SEA scene as well. Neon Esports from BGC Taguig. Here with us now is the CEO, Robert Campbell, and of course, the team manager, Carl Talungan.
Hey.
Hey, welcome guys to the stream. So glad that you guys are here. We'll just wanted to introduce you guys, but we'll get to the questions and a little bit more about your team a little bit later on. But again, thank you. We do have to move on to our next team. Of course, we're going to be speaking with none other than Clo Santa Ana, who is the coach and manager of Reckoning Esports, who is key in helping the roster to stick together through trying times of 2020. Miss there you go.
Hi.
Hey, welcome to the stream. Thank you again for joining us. And these are our competitors of the Philippines in the Dota 2 scene. So again, thank you guys for joining us so much. I'm so glad to be able to see you. Big fan, honestly. No cap. And I got to move on to talk about the PUBG teams as well. So a lot of these teams quite close to my heart because I, as a commentator, as a caster, very familiar with these PUBG teams. Excited to see them here right now. Let's talk about the first PUBG team that we have coming up on stage today with us. Now, they're a 3-time PUBG Continental PH representative and the first Philippine team to qualify for the PUBG Global Series in Berlin, which is a big deal here. And of course, this is the team Archangel Predator. Joining us is going to be Coach Josh Santos, who honestly, I'm so happy to see a familiar face with here again. Josh S.
Hi, Sir Gian.
Hello, hi, nice to see you again. And again, so such a big fan. Looking forward to seeing what you guys have got. But let's go ahead and introduce the rest of the teams right now. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to be. That's it for now. But we will be hearing for the team. So to start off the panel discussion, we do have a few quick questions that we do want to ask you guys, not just for the PUBG and also for the Dota 2, just for everybody who's here on this panel. I'd like to give you a big welcome, and we're starting off the round robin on discussions on questions here. So I'm going to open it up. I'm going to open the floor to you guys, and I'm going to start going in order. We'll start with TNC first, and then we'll just go in order. But I'm going to be asking a couple of questions. So the first one would be, how are you guys feeling coming into the Predator League 2020-2021 Grand Final? Are you feeling confident? Are you feeling nervous? I know this has been a long time coming, and I know that we've been waiting for this tournament for a while. So how does it feel to finally be here?
We feel very excited, motivated, and I would say confident, considering that this will be our first official tournament. After acquiring 2 new Filipino players.
Yeah, well, definitely excited because I know a lot of fans have been waiting. It's been a while since we saw TNC Predator play last in the Dota 2 tournament, and honestly, me and a lot of other fans have been waiting for this opportunity to see what TNC exactly has got. So let's. I'm going to pass off the question as well to Neon Esports. How are you guys feeling about joining this tournament?
Oh, look, we're very, very excited about joining this tournament. We've been looking forward to this tournament since December 2018. Oh, no, 2019. It's hard to know. We won back-to-back, so we're just really excited.
Right. And just a quick follow-up. What about you, Carl? I mean, I know personally this has been one of your team's, I think, goals to take this tournament and definitely solidify yourselves as a powerhouse in the region.
Yeah, like our CEO said, we were really looking forward to it. We were sad, of course, but when they announced, they emailed me that Predator was coming back. The boys were pretty much excited. Everyone was excited. So.
All right. Well, definitely I'm excited as well, but I'm going to move on and bring the question right now to Reckoning. So, Claw, I'm going to ask you, how are you feeling about this tournament? How are you feeling about, just the vibe on how you're giving us here in this upcoming tournament for the Predator League 2021?
Of course, we're excited because Predator is back. This is our first qualification for Predator. But we feel nervous as well because the teams here are playing are really big, especially TNC and Neon Esports. Probably that's it. The guys are feeling nervous, but of course we'll do our best
Yeah.
to give a best match for them.
Just a quick follow-up question on this. How does it feel to be going up on stage against titans like TNC? Does that make you feel like, what's going through your mind when you're going up against, hey, I'm going to be playing against teams like TNC, I'm going to be playing up against like Neon and other regional powerhouses as well. What's that like for you?
I think as a Filipino mindset, everything is 50-50 when you're playing Dota if you're Filipino. Because, Filipino is really say this. It's always be a bloodbath when inside the game. We just like to fight.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the times we see those matches happen definitely in Dota 2 right now. I do want to also bring this to Archangel. So Josh, real quick, how are you feeling coming into this? PUBG, this is your turf, man. This is your territory. How are you feeling coming back into the scene for PUBG after so long?
Actually, we're very excited for it. And yung nervous medyo nawala na kasi sobrang nadali nga yung tournament natin. So napalitan na lang siya ng confidence. So I think sobrang ready kami para dito.
Yeah, and I'm going to follow that question up. You guys have found a lot of success in the PUBG world. I mean, you and your organization trying out other titles. But what does it feel to finally get back into PUBG and like get that started again?
Actually, sobrang excited. Siyempre, ito yung pinaka first tournament namin na malaki this year. And actually, medyo nakakalungkot lang dahil online na siya. So,
yeah.
Pero hype pa rin, yes. Hype na hype pa rin.
I mean, we all miss the feeling of having LANs and the crowd and the cheering and the audience. There's just nothing like it. But this, of course, is going to be the next best thing. And I think in this situation, we're doing an absolutely great job at it. Now we'll move on to the next question. I'm going to start off this round again. I'm going to start it off with TNC. Question number 2. What do you think your edge is amongst your fellow competitors right now? I know you have just recently went through a roster shuffle here at TNC. Again, it's a little bit of a, I'd say, testing phase. Maybe you're going to the honeymoon phase. But what do you think this new roster will bring against your fellow competitors in this tournament?
I believe yung age, masasabi ko yung experiences. The experiences we had from international, local, and online tournaments are something we can use towards the third league. And with the addition of Hope and bagong ideas. So, I think isa sa mga advantage na gagamit.
Yeah. Definitely advantage and definitely an advantage and experience coming into big tournaments like this. Always a big deal. So again, thank you, TNC. I'm going to be moving on to Neon right now. All right. So Neon, let's go right into it. You got an edge right now coming into this competition. What is it?
Our edge coming into this tournament, so we'll be coming from the Singapore major, so we'll be coming in really hot. We'll be exposed in a high level competition, and coming into the Predator League will be, our hands will still be warm. We'll be ready.
I mean, the one Esports Singapore major, honestly, that was such an exciting tournament. And
It is.
Do you have a quick follow-up question about that? You guys did really well in your Singapore tournament major. I do want to ask, how do you feel like that experience is going to manifest in your upcoming games here? Do you feel like it's such a big boost to be able to get that international experience?
Definitely. Having to experience the highest level of plays, playing in a high platform, it is really exciting for us. We are very excited to experience that. We're not really aiming for the top, but well, our main goal going into the major is just to gain experience.
Yeah. I mean, getting into the major alone is enough. It's pretty much a
Yes.
big honor. So I'm so happy to see a lot of Filipino representatives going into Singapore, and you guys have just been killing it. And honestly, so proud. But I'm gonna move on right now. I'm gonna bring the question to Reckoning. Now, you guys, a little bit less international experience, but how do you feel like? Could this play into your advantage? What's your edge here coming to this tournament? Have people maybe read less into your strats? Do you have some strange setups that maybe nobody's going to be expecting?
Yes, you said it already. They doesn't have that a lot of information regards on our team, but I do think competition wise, I think in my mind it will always be 50-50 game when you're playing with these Southeast Asian teams and Filipino teams. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a lot of information regards on our team.
Yeah, definitely something that we have known in the region for quite a while. SEA, we love to fight in Dota 2. That's just how it is. But I'm going to ask a quick follow-up question. What does it mean for you and your team to go up against seasoned teams that have been to Singapore Majors, have been to ESL1 Hamburg? What does it mean for you guys to get that exposure, to get that practice in a tournament like this?
Of course, we will gain a lot of experience when we play with them. That's the biggest win factor with us. We played with them. If we play with them, we will gain a lot of experiences. Of course, we will learn how to do this. Even though we lose, it's still a win situation for us. That's it.
Right. Okay, again, so thank you. I'll bring this now to Archangel, talking about PUBG here. We'll move on to the shooting side. Okay, honestly, I think it's been quite a while, and we talked about this a little bit earlier on. You guys have had a lot of time to train. It's been a lot of time since you stepped up to the pitch, stepped onto the field. Last time we saw you in Archangel was quite a while back. But what do you think your edge is here? Did you guys change your play style? Did you have new hot drops? What's your edge coming into this tournament?
Actually, yung pagiging resilience ng team. And siguro yung bonding rin and chemistry na mas sumolid pa kasi magkakasama kami ngayon dito sa bootcamp.
Yeah. I go ahead, sorry.
Siguro sa strat, we're still the same Archangel pa rin. Mas aggressive lang kami talaga ngayon.
Yeah. I think it has a lot to do as well with the point system that we used to talk about. Kills being more valuable nowadays. Yeah. Teams really have to play aggressive, especially in PUBG, especially with the new point system. Sometimes the chicken dinners just aren't enough. And I'm really excited to see because Archangel has been a team that has been so good on playing aggressive in the start of whatever tournament they're on. And I'm so happy to hear that you're starting to play a little bit more aggressive. Really quick follow-up question. Now that you guys have moved to your new boot camp location, how does it feel to actually be together? How big of a boost is it that you guys are in the boot camp together?
Yes, actually sobrang laking factor na magkakasama kami. Marami kami nagagawang plays and makakapag-usap kami ng mabilis.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you can just look in your teammate's screen and be like, oh, you know what you got to do. That's just one of the biggest things. And of course, motivation and fist bumps all around here. But that has been it for now. For our questions from the round robin discussion. Thank you guys so much. But we will be opening up the floor to all of our media who have questions. We do have some seeded questions that we will be beginning with here. But you guys who are watching on YouTube, please make sure to type out your questions in the comment section. We will be able to read them, of course, and we will be looking at the comment section. We can see them as well, but we'll open it up with the seeded questions already. And again, we'll be starting it off with TNC. I hope you don't mind that we're starting with you guys. I do want to ask you, who do you think is your biggest competition? We'll start with you. Who's your biggest competition here in the Predator League?
I think our biggest competition here is definitely Neon Esports. Neon has been, a solid competitor in Southeast Asia, and they qualified to the Singapore Major. So we really wanna, beat them once we meet them.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, but I think we'll actually be showing the questions up on screen here. We'll be flashing them right now. So again, the question is, who do you think is your biggest competition? We'll move on right now. We'll go to Neon Esports. So tell me about how you feel in this competition going up against, really big titans. But who do you think is your biggest, competition? What team do you want to be fighting off against in this Ace Predator League? Oh, sorry, I can't hear you. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that was my bad. Look, there's a lot of strong teams in this competition. I mean, you've got to respect all of them. Teams like, TNC, Boom, they sort of come to mind, 496. But you certainly can't discount some of these other teams as well, like especially teams like Reckoning Esports. I mean, if you look at their roster, these guys are all experienced players. They're very good. And, some of those other sort of teams, you never know where the next arbiter is coming from, right? So especially in a best of one format, to be honest, we're just going to be taking it one game at a time and trying to beat them as they come to us.
Yeah, I think one game at a time, a really great mentality to have. I know a lot of teams fall into that pitfall of thinking, what do we do about the next game? What do we do about the next team? But taking it one step at a time, always a healthy mindset. Clearly something that comes from being a veteran in this region. I'm going to bring it to Reckoning right now. Who do you want to be facing off against? Who's your biggest competition?
Aside from ourselves, right?
Yeah.
It will always be TNC. I mean, it will always be TNC and Neon because they are, for us, we do think they are the number one here in Southeast Asia, aside from Fnatic, right? Since they are not participating in this Predator League, it will always be TNC and Neon Esports. Nothing more, nothing less. They always give really good games when you watch their plays, and you will learn a lot from them.
Yeah, definitely. Agree with you 100%. Definitely curious as to why we're not seeing Fnatic, but maybe they're a little bit busy with other things here. Let's move on right now. Talk about PUBG. Who do you feel? Let's go to Archangel. Excuse me, in PUBG. So Josh, who's your biggest competition here? Is it the Vietnamese? Because we know they're super later on in the tournament. But who do you think for now is going to be your biggest competition in this tournament?
Actually, Vietnamese and Thailand talaga for PUBG.
Yeah.
Lalo na nagalaro sila ngayon sa global. So, yung experience talaga ng mga country na yun sobrang malaki.
Yeah.
So, and for be specific, siguro servers esports from Vietnam.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, for some reason, Vietnam and Thailand are so good at producing PUBG teams. I just don't know why. They have a really good ecosystem about that. Do you have any insights as to why that might be? They just live and breathe PUBG over there.
Actually, parang parang sobrang main game nila dun sa country nila. So,
yeah,
that's why yung community nila sobrang big.
Yeah.
Para siyang Dota sa kanila.
Makes sense, which is why we're producing really good teams in our region as well. Okay, so we do have another round of questions right here. These are seeded questions from the media. We will be reading your questions in the comments, guys, for those who are in YouTube, a little bit later on, but we do have to get through the seeded questions. The next one is, are there any adjustments your team had to do in terms of preparing for an online-only tournament? So we're going to be flashing that on the bottom of the screen. You're going to be seeing that right now. So again, playing online, very different from playing LAN, especially if you're playing shooters. And I know it's also a big thing in MOBA games. It's definitely an adjustment with a lot of teams, especially in SEA, who definitely rely on high impact plays, who definitely rely on, playing fast, playing hard. If you have latency issues, it might not be an ideal setup. So what do you guys do to counteract this? How do you adjust to playing online? That's going to be my question. I'll start it off yet again with TNC. RJ, what do you do here?
For us, there's no specific or special adjustments when it comes to our preparations. We're just maintaining our discipline and do what we think is the best for us. And since we are playing online as much as possible, we want to have backup lines. We prepare for the worst, since sometimes there are problems with internet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, yeah, that's basically what we just do.
All right. Well, I'm gonna follow up that question this time with Neon Esports. Okay, I'm gonna ask you now, Robert. Um, so you had to adjust for playing online right here. Is this something that you had to you struggled with, like structurally speaking? I mean, you probably had the facilities to be able to handle this, but was it a big adjustment to focus on only online for you guys?
Look, I don't think it was much different. Carl, like what would you have said about?
Well, to us, really here at Neon, may it be online, may it be a LAN, we just prepare for it the same way. We want to perform at the highest level at any tournament or any other tournament. Maybe, like I said, maybe it may be online or LAN. Yeah, we by doing that, we need the boys in here together in a boot camp, eating healthy, sleeping well, training well, and having an online, yeah, like RJ mentioned, you'll need a backup internet always, so to prevent this disconnections.
Yeah, definitely. I'll pass it on right now. Reckoning, how do you guys feel about playing online? Is it something that you guys are used to? Is LAN still your goal? Like, what does it feel to be focusing on online only tournaments right now?
Of course, LAN is the goal, right? But for this situation right now, we don't have any adjustments. But we're playing already for like 1 month playing online, and we are comfortable. Yes, as the other team said, it's the only the internet connection. We just need a backup plan. So my players are ready. They got a plan B regards on the internet connection. No big adjustments. We just do what we do best. That's it.
All right. Well, thanks. But let's go to a team that be affected by this the most here. Archangel. So coming from shooters, like PUBG and other titles that are shooters, we know that ping is probably one of the most important factors to have. How are you going to adjust to this? Are you going to capitalize on things like peaker's advantage? What are the adjustments that you're doing for having this online tournament?
Actually, very sanay na kami dito sa online kasi all our majors last year is online talaga. Naging online lang siya talaga. Walang lagyan lang. So, feeling ko ready naman kami for this kind of situation. And sa laro, siguro sanay na sa ping. May backup internet din naman dito. So, I think ready.
All right. Well, definitely going to make me breathe a sigh of relief, and I swear to the fans as well that people have got this, because I know people are a little bit shaky because sometimes, regardless, there are internet issues or connectivity issues that happen in the country. If it starts to rain a little bit, you know what I mean. But let's we have another question coming up here, and this one is directed, I think, to Miss Su Ong Lim, and this is actually. We can bring her back. Hi, welcome back to the panel. Glad to see you again. And we have a question specifically for you. And it's, are the products under the promo still covered by warranty? Of course, this is for you guys.
Okay. Absolutely. I think this question is tied with the fact that the promo that I discussed earlier seems to be too good to be true. But as a matter of fact, we offer 2-year warranty for all our Predator products, and those that are participating in the promo are actually brand new. No? So to just give you a rationale of why we are doing this, despite, of course, already a Predator being an aspirational brand or product for gamers out there, we just want to give back to the community, especially to those who have been patient and who have been really supporting and aspiring for this APAC Predator League. So besides, it's Philippines remain to be the host country for this APAC tournament, and that we are just really giving extra special for the Philippine market.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Excited to hear that, and definitely, Acer Predator, they're taking care of us. Warranty all around. I'm so happy to hear. I do have a couple of questions. I'm going to be opening the floor right now to questions that we have to the people in the media here in the comment section. I have been going through these questions, and there are a couple of really good ones that I do want to tackle. One is from Kenzie Wanderdrift right here. Oh, familiar face in the audience. This one's the TNC. They have learned a lot from their international peers. like 1437 and Heen, and he wants to know what has made you guys decide to go for an all Filipino lineup. Oh, can't hear you right now. Are you talking?
Sorry.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
All right. Thank you, Kenzie. I think what made us decide to go for an all Filipino lineup is technically the pandemic situation. Yeah, I agree that Tiban or 1437 and Heen are great people, great player, great coach. It's just that we wanna. Our goal is like technically the international, so we wanna take advantage of the time to rebuild and focus on that goal. Since having two foreigner players would be a very challenging situation for us, considering that they're playing from a high ping and they cannot come to the Philippines for us to boot camp because. No, but right now, since we have an all Filipino roster, we're boot camping right now. Building chemistry, and yeah, I believe this is better for us.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense logistically speaking that you have players who are physically near each other, who can be in the boot camp, who can be able to, support each other and be around. It just makes sense. And speaking of logistics, thank you for that, by the way, RJ. I'm going to be going to a question as well about logistics. There's a really good one here from Jeeves De Vera. And this one is for Predator Philippines yet again. How different will it be hosting this event in the pandemic over the physical event that you prepared for at SM Arena? What are the logistics involved?
Okay, actually, that's a very good question. It's actually entirely different, but not in a sense that, one is better or easier and one is more difficult than the other. It has its own challenges. For a big online event such as this, the challenge is really more of putting in innovation, to keep the audience engaged, whether through virtual contents like AR and what have you. Of course, you have to stay tuned, for that April 6 to 11 event. But what's good about this online event that it's borderless, or it has less boundaries in the sense, especially that it's an Asia Pacific tournament. Again, joined by 17 regions within Asia Pacific. So, a lot of planning has gone in from cross region, and we expect it to be even bigger, maybe, than holding it in the MOA Arena. So we are very confident with that.
Yeah. And I do want to give a quick reminder to the people commenting and the people asking questions. Please direct your questions. If there's somebody that you want to ask to in the panel that we have right now, would be very, very helpful if you could actually address your questions to someone. It is a little bit difficult to figure out who to ask you to, but there are some that definitely are out there that are a little bit simpler. This one's a question here from Dugout Philippines. I'm going to direct this one. This one's to Neon. How do you balance your preparations for the Predator League and the Singapore Major? These were two tournaments happening, rather simultaneously. How do you balance that?
Mr. Rob, do you have this or?
Sorry, guys. I keep unmuting my mic and then unmuting it for the questions. Look, it hasn't been easy. It's quite complex, but we knew about the schedule. I mean, we've been doing this. We've been planning for this for 2 weeks, and we've gone through all sorts of possibilities. Even coming up with one that involved like getting computers or buying laptops and trying to play them from a hotel room. But we finally, that was pretty crazy. But finally, we've settled on something. We're pretty confident it's going to work. And, by balance, I guess we've just focused on scrimming and getting ourselves in the best state possible for Singapore Major. And then straight into like Predator League. It's basically just one long tournament for us.
Yeah, it's like a one long tournament, and like Mr. Rob mentioned before, we just take it one game at a time. Everything's all the same to us. May it be Predator League, the major, or an online tournament, other online tournament, it's all the same to us. So yeah, we're really grateful also to Predator for helping us set up in the Predator League tournament.
Right. Definitely setup is a very important thing here. There is a quick question that I actually do want to follow up on this right here. This one is for the players themselves, and we do have a question from Brian Joseph Yalong, and the question is: will internet connectivity be a problem? We all know how erratic connections are. Is this a concern for the event and for you as players? I mean, you earlier mentioned that you have backups. Is it still like a little bit scary as well? Because sometimes even if it, even if you do have a backup, it's not just enough. And as well, a quick follow-up to that would be competing virtually be more convenient for players, considering they are playing in their home and can focus better without people physically watching them? Or do you guys prefer LAN setups? I'll direct this to the players. I'll start with Archangel first, and then we'll go to Reckoning.
Actually, for the internet connection, medyo delikado, medyo ano nga, pag nag-i-spike yung ating mga internet. So, for us, medyo hindi siya, parang medyo, in short, parang delikado talaga siya for us, playing online. And dun sa second question naman, so, actually, mas prepare talaga namin yung online, LAN, because yung experience talaga hindi mo babayaran. So, pero we don't have any choice for this kind of situation na pandemic. So, ina-enjoy pa rin namin yung situation for now. Online.
I think definitely not as players and personally me as a caster. There's no feeling like being online in the moment that a great play comes up by a player, and then you make the connection, and then you make this play call, and then suddenly the whole audience erupts right after what you did or said. There's just no feeling in the world like it. Hopefully we can replicate that success when Twitch chat pops up, when YouTube just absolutely loses their mind, or when Facebook comments just start screaming. It's the closest thing we have, but it can be very exciting as well. I'm going to direct this to Reckoning. Are you guys, I'm going to follow this up with you guys. I know you said that you prefer LAN here, but how do you feel about playing at home? Is it more comfortable for you? This is still the question of Brian Joseph Yalong.
It's comfortable, of course. We're playing at home. We see our parents, right? We see our family. But of course, the internet connection here in the Philippines, we all know that it's a problem, especially if you're playing in a boot camp or playing online. It always be a problem for us. So, but we just pray that the internet won't fluctuate, and do something like that. We just pray.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not much we can do, and just maybe do a rain dance to make the rain go away. That's how it works here in this country. But really quick follow-up. This is from Dugout Philippines again. It's a follow-up to their question. This is for Neon. Do you need to go to Singapore? What would be the COVID protocols there? Because I know they mandate like 2 weeks, but do you guys need to be flying in Singapore for this?
Yes. For Singapore major, it's a LAN. Of course, we need to go there. The protocols is that we take the test 7 to 2 hours before the flight, and when we arrive, we take the test again, and then every 3 days we take the test again. So I think the Singapore government and the organizers they're pretty hands-on on the protocols.
Yeah, it's been very serious, as Mr. Carl said. Like, there's been a lot of testing.
Yeah, there's been a lot of testing to make sure the boys are healthy.
Yeah, definitely. And a little bit is tough logistically speaking, but we make it happen. Now, I do want to ask, is there any other follow-up questions here from the audience? Anyone from YouTube, from the media? If there is none, I'm going to wrap up the segment. But if there's nobody else here, I'm going to just do a little bit of a quick check. No, I think that's it. But if there's no more questions, again, I'd like to give a big thank you. I'm going to wrap up this part right now. And again, welcome back here. It is the Acer Predator Gaming League. I'm about to sign off. But before I do that, it's a quick reminder, April 6 to 11, you can see me there. I'm going to be hosting on the Pubg English panel, as well as all these amazing teams and players who are going to be fantastic. I know it's going to be one hell of a weekend. I'm looking forward to seeing it so much. A lot of our good friends are going to be there. A lot of the best teams in the country are going to be showing up. So if you are big fans, you cannot miss this tournament. That's going to be from April 6 to 11. All of those days are going to be to satisfy your PUBG and your Dota 2 needs. Now, I'd like to invite everybody to join our virtual media center join our virtual media center on April 6 to 11 to gain access to daily interviews with the teams from Asia Pacific. You will receive an invitation to the virtual media center in a couple of days, so please keep a lookout for that. Until then, I'm going to bid you adieu, and again, thank you to all of the teams and Acer Predator for coming on stage, to all the members of this panel. Thank you very much. And until then, stay safe. This has been your host. I have been your host. My name is Gian Bernardino, aka Illustrado, and I'm bidding you all good game and goodbye.